Yo, what's up, guys? Now, you guys are probably asking, what am I at Polly's for? So, let me explain. Essentially, I ran out of loot scrolls, and I actually know a method to gain loot scrolls. Oh my god, what the Oh! Okay. Yeah, I'm clearly here to drop here Blackstones, obviously. Right, so like I was saying, I ran out of loot scrolls, and that's a very big problem, right? No loot scrolls, no money. Well, you can make money, but it's not as good, right? And I need that moolah from Hex to get my pen Blackstar. Now, normally, if you're asking me, I normally purchase my loot scrolls with the Pearl Shop. But I'm going to be kind of honest, all the Pearl Shop deals to purchase loot scrolls have been really doo-doo. I mean, there was one deal up, like usually you get like a comma blessing, right? Or like an old moon book, you get like 10 to 15 loot scrolls, and that was that. But recently, they've been doing like 4 loot scrolls, and there's just... I'm not doing that. So is there a method where I can farm loot scrolls? And guess what? I found a way, and it's definitely existed for a while now. Didn't see any videos on it, so I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and share the knowledge with y'all, okay? So if y'all haven't, y'all better be subbed to this channel. Y'all better be liking the videos. Y'all better be commenting, because I'm kind of giving you guys the strats right now, alright? I'm giving you the strats. Now, if you're an existing player like me, this is going to be very easy for you. If you're a new player, you might be a little lost, but don't worry about it. I'll try to make it easy for you, okay? Simply put, get on seasonal servers and get full pen, okay? If you're a veteran player like me, it'll take you a few hours. If you are a new player, there is a fantastic seasonal guide that exists on BDO Foundry that it comes up every season. That is a great way to do it. Literally just read that full thing and go get full pen. It's brain dead, super easy, okay? Once you have full pen on a season, this method is basically available to everyone in the game. You guys can all do it, and I will give some feedback on this method too. Now what you're going to want to do is, you want to pop a level 1 loot scroll, and you want to pop a 50% tent buff. You can pretty much grind on any time-filled ore spot that gives a lot of time-filled ore. So like, if you just literally hover over the time-filled blackstone, it'll actually tell you where these drop from. And you can even go to some extra spots such as Mary's Cave, and you can farm the gravestone to get even more time filled. Spot that I chose personally was Polly's Forest, but literally all the other spots give just as much. I also recommend those, and they're all just fantastic, right? So basically, if you haven't noticed by now, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be farming up time-filled blackstone. Every time you get 300 time-filled blackstones, you're able to turn these into Fugger to an infinite amount. So pretty much, if you can grind these, you can get loot scrolls, right? Now guys, just to be extra clear so some of you guys aren't confused, you guys can pretty much understand now. You're farming for time-filled blackstones, right? And before I get into how much you can get per hour and all that good stuff, when you want to get the loot scrolls, as you can see on the bottom of the exchange list, X300 is the item collection scroll. In any major city, you can just go to Fugger. So if you guys don't know where he is, come to the magnifying glass, type in Fugger, and you'll see it'll show you where he is in each like main city pretty much. So just come to Fugger, have them in your inventory, and then you'll see the exchange list right here. This is what you guys are after pretty much. You guys are after all of the X300s, okay? That's how you're going to be getting your loot scrolls. Now, when you guys are farming for time-filled blackstones and the time-filled ore drop spots that I had shown you guys, you want to pop a level 1 loot scroll, you want to pop a 50% tent buff, and then just grind, okay? Now, what should happen is you should get about 800 to 900 time-filled blackstones per hour. So you're popping 1 loot scroll to get back 2 to 3 an hour. Right? Also have to take into fact that you will be dropping rift fragments, right? Now rift fragments, every time you get 5 of them, you can get a rift echo, which is a scroll. And actually, a lot of people mess this up. A lot of people just do them by themselves, or they just kind of like, just do one at a time. Make sure you guys join a rift echo group and you combine them, and you combine the scrolls to get the higher stage effect. So that way you guys get more time filled overall. So on the context of you popping 1 Rift Echo and everyone pops 1 at the same time in the summoning device, you should be getting about 180 time filled per Rift Echo. So on average, you should be getting about 3 to 5 Rift Echo fully made from 1 hour of grinding in these time filled spots, because that's what I was getting personally. So based on my math, depending on how many Rift Echo you get, that's another 540 time filled ore to 900 per hour. So in average, you should be getting about 3 to 5 loot scrolls per hour. You can get that much on seasons, and that is the method. You're farming for time-filled ore, and then whenever you have Rift's Echo, you run them in a group. Turn in all your time-filled ore for extra loot scrolls, and then the Tuvala Ore and the refined blackstones, you can just get rid of those. You can just literally silver vendor them, vendor trash extra silver per hour. Now, to give you guys a perspective, just how many loot scrolls you guys can get, I've been on seasons for about 52 hours, right? The first 24 hours was just me getting seasons done. Literally, that's what it was. And I had 0 loot scrolls, like quite literally 0. And as you guys can see, I have some rifts I can run to get more time filled. I have 1700 on me. And I have 123 loot scrolls now, and I had 0. So at this point, I'm going to go back to my main character, farm some more. I will not graduate this character. I'm going to keep him here. Honestly, if you guys want my opinion, and if PA's listening, they might want to consider this. Honestly, loot scrolls just shouldn't be a thing anymore. It's so outdated, but it's also like, it's really predatory as like a grinding system, right? Because some people just want to grind a lot, and then they run out of this. And I personally know a lot of people that will just quit the game because they're like, oh, well, this is pay to win. Even though it's not, like if you're a veteran player, you kind of understand loot scrolls are not the end all be all, especially because they give so many away. But for like the people that are like, you know, that really want to go ham, it just like really, I know for a fact it makes people quit the game, like 100%. Some people also are just like, wow, that's really lame. They should honestly just give everyone permanent level 2 buff, like all the time. So like make it a worldwide buff. Just give everyone 100% drop rate. Give them the drop rate amount buff as well. And instead of selling loot scrolls, just sell drop rate buffs. Like the old moon scroll that give you 50%, just start selling that on the Pearl shop. I think that would be a much better change for the game, and I think a lot of people in the community would appreciate that, personally. It would be a massive dub for this game, and that would continue to improve the direction that PA is going in to improve the game. You know what I mean? Quite honestly, get rid of loot scrolls, give it to everyone permanently at level 2, and instead of selling loot scrolls, just sell the drop rate buffs. Yeah, so because of the loot scroll extinction I had go on here, that kind of slowed down my progression a little bit, but that's okay. Also, it's been Ramadan, so I've been celebrating that as well, so I've been busy. So 123 loot scrolls, right? Literally had 0, and we're at 21 bill. Unfortunately, don't make a lot of money on season. It's really doo-doo. You know, here we are. At this point, I'm going to start grinding up on my main character now. So back to my Musa, who's currently right here in gear. We're going to go back to Hex. I have a lot of EXP things to pop. Also, my Musa right now, he's at like 70% to 65. When that's done, we're swapping to the Hashashin because I can't tell you, I am tired of grinding on Suck Musa. It's just too much in the hands. So a few of you have been asking me what I'm going to be doing to get to 720 gear score, and while I'm there, I might as well explain to you guys some of the new items coming into the game and how I'm building into those new items too. But essentially, I just have to get the double pen black stars, C20 my muskins, get the new gloves, trade out my current god armor for the trade out my current Fallen God armor for the Tri, because I have a duo, and then C20 my Kudum, and that puts me at 722. Now, getting the C20 Kudum from where I'm at, and C20 Muskins, and Tri Fallen God is actually really cheap. The wall really is the double pen, you know, God Eyes, but, you know, we're going to get there pretty soon. That's not going to be a really big deal once I have them, but the rest of the stuff is actually super easy, right? Now, the one thing before I feel like I'm, like, super ready to PvP, like, all the time again, is basically I need to trade out these crescent rings in the future for double pen ominous rings. That needs to happen. Double pen ominous rings are going to be the way. But let me explain to you guys the new meta coming in and why I'm choosing the blue gloves over the green. So TLDR, the difference between the blue gloves and the green gloves is the same as bag and levers. So you're trading off 25 accuracy and 7 DR, or you're going to get 32 extra evasion and 2 DP. At the cost of 25 accuracy and 7 DR for the evasion gloves, right? With the new items coming in and the fact that the new journal gives us 2 extra crystal slots, well, the new crystals coming in are really just favoring evasion, like just hardcore. So there's like a new Ultra Instinct Super Saiyan Blue Whom that like literally just, it gives you 3 DR, 5 evasion, 75 HP, and 2 accuracy. Then there's a new Frozen Cold Crystal that gives you 10 DR, 12 evasion. Then they have that mythic crystal that just gives you everything. So yeah. Oh, did I also forget? I forgot to mention, right? Because of all the HP. Right. So my main build with just a Kudum now is 1131 evasion and 7.4k HP. Yeah, maybe you guys see why you want to go accuracy. And like when somebody wants to like evasion meme you, a Sissel and Centaur belt and an evasion offhand puts them at 1323 evasion. That's not even counting like a DP stone or like, you know, the DP elixirs and the evasion elixirs. I'm not counting any of that, by the way. So yeah, you will be fighting like 14 to 1500 evasion memes, and you will see more evasion being stacked on. But wait, how does it get worse? Right? How does it get worse? Well, you're also gonna see the heavy shield DR classes run that build. So what I mean by that is because of the new crystals being so broken and they also just give DR. So what I mean by that is like the Hooms give DR and the DR classes want DR. This gives DR but it also gives evasion. This gives DR but it also gives evasion, right? Well, the problem is that if they just run evasion gloves and they go Uragons, they're getting 1100 evasion plus they're getting 530 DR. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of the thick DR classes such as like Berserker, Suck Nova, Warrior, Valkyrie, Draconia, Guardian. Yeah, those classes that can get a bunch of DR. I can tell you right now, with this next update, a geared Suck Guardian is going to ruin your day, probably, most likely. So, yeah, I said it once back then in the past because I already saw this meta coming. This is why I ran bags always, because we were already nearing the state where people are having a little bit too much evasion, other than the whole like human damage DR class to just blow up, right? But now it's especially true. Yeah, this is not okay. Have fun.